556 horsepower, 0 to 60 under 4 seconds, doorstop styling, all wrapped up in that Baroque Cadillac crest. Let's drive the 2011 Cadillac CTS V Coupe and check the tech. Few cars represent how far Cadillac has come in the last 15 years or so, more than the CTS V. I'm not sure a car like this makes a hell of a lot of sense unless you spend time at the track, and if you do, I doubt a 4,200-pound Cadillac is your smartest choice, but as an exercise in engineering, it's quite impressive. Cadillac didn't screw around when they brought this thing from concept to production. The thing we saw on the show circuit was basically this, and everybody's breath was taken away, and then they rolled out the production version, and it's like, wait a minute, guys, you screwed up, that's the concept car. Nope, that's the real one. Look at this roof line. Just about flat enough you could balance a billiard ball on it and it wouldn't roll away, at least not in a hurry. This does not lift up, by the way, just a little stubby trunk back here. This is really the styling statement about the coupe, and on the CTS V it's that much more audacious. You got these big 19s, in this case with these optional black ones with yellow Brembo calipers. To keep it clean here, big slab-sided doors, those speak of brawniness. They've hidden the latches behind the door. There's a little pad you press there to open it up. Same thing on the inside, little electric button, and in case that doesn't work, which it often didn't for me, there's an emergency pull down by the floor. I used it more often than I should have. Now, one of the great crowd pleasers, of course, is Mr. Peekaboo right here. When this 8-inch LCD is down, you get this really slick kind of, what is that, 7 by 1.5 inch LCD helper screen for when you're not using nav, like 90% of the time you're driving. But when you do want full screen, you can hit that button and pop that up, and it also pops up automatically when you're starting up the car. And here's where you get all the goodies. Let's take a look at our navigation screen. It's very clear, good dot pitch, better than GM cars have had until very recently. Destination entry is pretty simple. Again, this is a touch screen with nice big buttons. I appreciate that. And I found that while sometimes the response can be a little slow, at least the indication it gives you that you hit the button, that's quick. Now when you go to your media, you've got all your choices up here. AM, FM, of course, no HD radio on this guy. XM is your satellite radio choice. Your CD and DVD slot are right up here. You can watch movies when you're parked. Hard drive, it's a 40-gigabyte hard drive installed on the car. And you can also store radio in a sense. Just hit the pause play button and start caching a broadcast for up to 60 minutes, either AM, FM, or XM. And because you've got a hard drive, you can record your CD to it. And under aux, you've got access to all the stuff here in the glove box. Let's see, we've got a USB and an aux jack there with a special double pigtail connector that lets me hook up an iPod or iOS device. Anything in the audio system comes out of a standard Bose Audio 10-speaker 5.1 surround system. Pretty straightforward on this car. There are not a lot of ups or extras. Now you may notice we have a 6-speed manual in this guy, which is more or less considered the default gearbox for this car, although a 6-speed automatic is available, and it does trigger a rear camera. Not a lot of options on this guy. It is what it is, a single view. And another high-end feature that is gonna come with your CTS V, like it or not, are these Recaro seats. They go from being too skinny for anything but a lemur to sit in to just barely wide enough for a human who doesn't eat too many donuts to sit in. They're real skinny. We have the unfortunate saffron velour inserts. I think I'd skip that fast. And this Cadillac, being a 2011, can also be hooked up to OnStar Mobile on your smartphone to do things like lock or unlock the doors, even start the car remotely to get it warmed up, cooled down, or ready for a fast getaway. Of course, remote start doesn't work with a manual gearbox that you'd probably get with this car. Now, of course, if you buy a CTS V without being obsessive about what's under this panel, you're a fool, because this car is all about its engine. A 6.2-liter V8 is bad enough, but to add a supercharger, you've got a wicked motor here. 556 horsepower, 551 foot-pounds of torque. It gets this 4,208-pound car to 60 in under 4 seconds, like 3.9 with either gearbox. Now, you pay the price on the MPG. $14.19 with the manual. If that's not bad enough, get the automatic. Then you'll be in $12.18 territory. And with either one, you're going to pay a gas guzzler tax. But if you buy this car, I don't think you care. Oh, and by the way, if this description makes you say, yeah, the little caddy's got the Corvette Z06 motor, it actually doesn't. That's an LS9 in the Vette Z06. This is a very close related but different LSA with about, 75 horsepower fewer. It's a different motor. Okay, so what's it like to drive this big, uncouth beast? Well, it's not all that uncouth, to be honest. In fact, driving around, much of the time, you never lift the boost gauge off the peg. I mean, it's a 6.2-liter V8. You don't always need boost to get going, even at a good clip. But when you do, things open up rather alarming. Nice gearbox, nice clutch, nice and linear, very drivable. It's a very compact car inside. I never got over the feeling of being a little claustrophobic. And of course, since there's no lift-up hatch on this guy, there's nothing really practical about its fastback sloping roof form. So this is a car meant for kind of one purpose. A, showing off on Saturday night when you go to the clubs. Or B, going off to track day. Or C, getting some really fast freeway on-ramp approaches. CTSVs come stock with magnetic ride control, their adaptive suspension, which goes from a tour mode to a sport mode with the push button. Similarly, leaning on the StabiliTrak button puts this car into competitive mode or takes the traction off entirely, which I don't recommend with 551 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, let's price this little flying doorstop of a demon. $64,300 for a CTS V Coupe. Options are few. It's mostly loaded. $1,300 for the automatic. Oh, plus your mileage goes down, so there's really a hidden cost there. You're not going to do that. And $700 for the sunroof that we don't need on a day like today. That said, it's actually a pretty good deal for a car that doesn't really make a lot of sense.